Alright, what's going on guys, WB Kyle here, and today I'm bringing you guys a Tempo Mage gameplay video. This list isn't anything out of the ordinary. There's a few changes. I'm not running Ragnaros notably, and I put back Archmage Antonidas, and he hasn't been seeing too many lists lately, mainly because he's just kind of been slow for the meta. Also, this list includes the new Babbling book from Karazhan expansion. And yeah, I've been trying to get this deck full gold. It's expensive, guys. Today I just crafted double gold Azure Drakes and double gold Babbling books. 1 gold Arcane Blast. I pulled this one. One of these is as much as a legendary minion, I believe, to craft 1 gold, which is just ridiculous. And I didn't want to craft gold Flamemakers because they're going to be rotated out in the next expansion, I believe, because it's from Blackrock Mountain. So I didn't want to waste dust on that, and then legendaries, you know, are just completely ridiculous. So yeah, I crafted the Azure Drakes also because you use them in more than just this one deck, so I got some value out of that. Anyway, we're going to be playing this Tempo Mage deck list. You guys can see I started using the deck tracker a little late as I've been playing this, but right now I'm 6-4. The reason I've been playing this deck mostly is because it's really good against pretty much all the Druid decks besides Token Druid, which I know is like one of the main ones, but this deck just completely dominates Beast Druid, and I also have a really good time against some decks such as Zoo, which is kind of prominent, and notably this deck is insane against pretty much every warrior deck you can think of. Like, this deck's win rate is above 50% against every other warrior. So yeah, that's why I'm playing this deck pretty much, plus it's just really fun. Do I keep the mirror image? Yeah, sure, why not? We'll keep the whole hand here. As you guys can see, I'm an 8 now, so we're still climbing. This is a day after the Dragon Paladin, which I recorded yesterday. You guys seem to enjoy those videos, so if you enjoy this video, make sure to smash that like button. And yeah, let's get into the gameplay here. Hopefully we can get some exciting games out. No point in playing the mirror image on turn 1, because I can just play him with the Sorcerer's Apprentice on turn 2 if I want to just... Swashbuckler. Alrighty. Unfortunately, no Mana Worm start, otherwise I would have crushed this kid by now. But yeah, I'll go with the mirror image play. Worst he could probably do to me is coin SI Agent. It happened. Oh, that's not that big of a deal. I assume this guy's playing the Burglar deck because I know Trump made a video on it today. Whenever Trump makes a video on something, I always expect people to be out playing that same deck archetype because, I mean, it's Trump. You gotta play what Trump plays. That's basically, if you don't know who Trump is, I'm not talking about Donald Trump. I'm talking about this guy. My boy Jeffrey, who I watch on the daily, whose Hearthstone videos is just super awesome. I'm sure if you're watching my Hearthstone videos, you've seen him. He is a pro. I'm not too sure if he's like competing in tournaments anymore, but I know he's still considered like a pro player. This kind of sucks right now. Don't think I can play Cult Sorcerer. Oh wait, why does he have Fallen Hero? That doesn't work with Rogue, does it? That definitely does not. For some reason I was like, wait, Fallen Hero, I can't play Cult Sorcerer. He's gonna 2 mana Fire Blast me, but he's a rogue. Burgle. Alright, well, I haven't drawn many of my low curve cost cards. Like, all of these are considered like late game for this deck, even though they're not that late game. Top deck Azure Drake or Kabbalist Tome even would probably be my 2 best options here. Also, I noticed I kept clicking my mouse in the last video and it's actually really loud in the microphone, so I will try to refrain myself from doing that, but no promises. Alright, Babbling Book, don't disappoint me. Do I want to use that here? I think I always drop Thoracen next turn, so it might actually be worth it, which means I missed a damage to his face. I'm gonna look like an idiot now. I think I'll save it. There's no real point. And I'll always drop Thoris in here because it's not even hitting like that great of cards. Generally with Thorson, you want to hit like Frostbolts, Arcane Intellects, Cavalus Tome's a really good one, Yogg Saron, Archmage Antonidas. Cards like Fireball, it's like difference between 3 mana and 4 mana to kill like his 4, 5, or 6 drop is generally not too big of a deal. And Flame Strike usually isn't too good in this matchup anyway. Unless it is just a typical Miracle Rogue, because it's actually really good against the concealed whatchamacallits. The word I'm looking for is Karazhan Auctioneer. Good thing I held the Forbidden Flame because it allows me to kill his guy this turn. I'm like the tempo deck, but right now I'm kind of taking the role of the control deck just because I don't really have any proactive plays. All my plays are pretty reactive here, so hoping to draw some proactive plays such as Cabalist Tome or Azure Drake or Arcane Intellect. Actually, all 3 of those would be pretty good top decks right now. So that's a 6 out of 21 chance. It's not too high, but if I must, I will Flame Strike or just Fireball this Karazhan. And I will drop a Cult Sorcerer with it as well, just to put a minion out on the board. I'm surprised he played a Karazhan in the hope it would live against a Tempo Mage without playing any spells with it. That feels like a big waste. What's he gonna do? Shadow Strike, my 2-drop. I will take that. And that is why I also played this card. Gives Thorson a better chance of not getting Shadow Striked. In this turn, even though Thorson pretty much guaranteed dies, I think I still play him. Yeah. Why not? Whether the discounts are that great or not, getting the body out on the board is more important than just passing here, and fireballing a 4/4 Edwin is not very important right now because it's not that big of a threat. And if he doesn't use the Edwin to actually kill my Thoris in here, I mean, I'm pretty sure he would, but he could Shadow Strike instead. I just Flame Strike his board, and that is not too bad. Alright, there's the Shadow Strike. I'm okay with that. Because if he traded the Edwin here and did the 1 damage, I probably wouldn't just Flame Strike his 4/4 Auctioneer. But now it gives me a bit more reason to actually use the Flame Strike here. It's turn 8 and I've only cast 4 spells. That feels bad, man. So he's used both Shadow Strikes, both Karazhan Auctioneers, and he only has 6 cards in his hand. I mean, I only have 2, but his 2 major card draw components are both dead, and his 2 biggest pieces of removal are also gone, so surprised he Fan Knives there instead of just hit with his weapon. I don't know, kind of seems like a bit of a waste to me. Keep up the tempo here with the Flame Wakers. Now I'm really looking to draw Cabalist Tome or Azure Drake or Arcane Intellect, which I've basically been looking for the last 3 turns now. It's just any of my lower cost cards here aren't very useful in these situations. Anytime you draw Mana Worm in the late game, you get pretty sad. Same thing with Arcane Missiles or Mirror Image, unless of course you're also using Archmage Antonidas, and sometimes you get lucky. But other than that, anytime you draw those cards in the late game, you're probably in a bad situation. Babbling Book isn't too bad actually, and neither is Arcane Blast, because Arcane Blast can do 4 damage with spell damage, and Babbling Book sometimes can just be awesome with its miracle draws. 6 spells with Yogg. Okay, there's an Arcane Intellect. That is a really good draw. See, I don't know if I want to drop the Antonidas here because I have no spells that go with it, so I think I'll just do the Mana Worm. Like I said, if I had drawn like an Azure Drake instead of Mana Worm, I'd have a 4/4 spell damage draw card rather than just a 1/3 in the late game. But, you know, sometimes variance, it just tends to happen. Good news is, I wonder if it was a right idea to play Archmage there. He's used like probably 80% of his removal now, but I'm not too sure. I didn't want to play him without any synergy cards whatsoever. Now I have one, so I'm actually going to use him. Aha. Alright, so he's got 3 damage here. He'd need an Eviscerate to kill this thing, which isn't too bad. Got me 1 fireball, and it's going to take a decent amount to clear this guy off. If he even has the Eviscerate, that is. He's off. Okay, well, I wasn't expecting that card. I actually really wasn't expecting that card. Why wasn't I expecting N'Zoth? Probably just because it's odd. I didn't see any unearthed raptors. Yogg? Praise Yogg? If it doesn't clear the board, that's a lot of bad news. I could stall 1 more turn. He has 6, 8, 10, 15, 16. So I'm not necessarily dead if Yogg doesn't clear the board here, so let's go for it. Alright, that sucks. Pretty good. That's not useful. That is really good. Useless. Kinda useless. That's decent. Well, rip my stealth. Alright, that wasn't too bad. Killed N'Zoth, restored some health, drew a card. Played Misdirection, which I guess could be kind of good if he's not looking to play around it. Might make him scared of the explosive trap here. Yes, hit with the 5-1-4 first. Damn it. That's actually pretty decent. Even though it still hit my guy, then my Yogg's still 2-for-1s if he hits with the Tomb Pillager. And now that Yogg is gone, he's running out of steam, hopefully. Archmage Antonidas will probably become my win condition. That's a pretty good huckster for him.
So many options. Choose soon.
This guy's a total.
Wow. That sucks. Uh-oh. Is there anything I can draw into that could help? Not really. Maybe I got super lucky here somehow. He's got 11, 14. He needs 5 damage. He's used 1 Eviscerate, I believe. And his face is frozen, so there's no hope in Deadly Poison. Next turn I have at least 13.
Wanted, dead or alive.
Wow. If I live this turn, it's pretty good for me. This was the card I was wishing to have when they were all stealth there, but unfortunately I needed to use it to clear his gadgets and the other turn. He's running low on cards, maybe I can fatigue him.
So many options.
I mean, I'm sure one of us will be dead by the time we're fatigued, especially since I have 18 points of burst in my hand. Just keep playing the cards, man. Wow, I think he just threw the game, maybe. Odds of him having 5 damage, are they very high? I don't know. And I think the spell damage here is more important than drawing the cards. Maybe I'm lucky. Maybe he isn't running Leroy? Not dead? Uh-oh. Am I dead? What's 6 mana? What is he doing right now? Oh. BMing. Fucking rip, dude. Dragon's Breath, bro. I had lethal the next turn. That's some despair. Kinda forgot that deck existed, to be completely honest. Pretty good. Now we're looking for Arcane Blast and Frostbolt. Mana Orm would have also been good. Gold Effigy is so cool. I think Cult Sorcerer is less important to live than Sorcerer's Apprentice usually. He just trades into that. I don't really have any good plays here. Could just ping. And I think I might. No, I'll Arcane Intellect. If he makes this trade, I ping it next turn. There's no point in doing it now. Plus, he's probably not too aggro of a deck if he's running Spirit Claws. Or maybe that makes him an aggro deck. I'm not too sure. I haven't really seen any deck pull this card off yet. Maybe they run like Blood Mage Thalnos. Haha. 1/1 Leper Gnome. Do I Fireball a 3/4? Of course I don't.
Someday I'll be just like you.
To ping that or to play a 3/2 though? That's the question.
Someday I'll be just like you.
Why not? Never lucky with the spell damage totem. That hurts. Although it does look like Flamewaker might put in some work here, potentially. If I draw like a Arcane Missiles. If not, I might just lose. Can I afford to take 8 this turn by just playing Azure Drake? Oh man. Yep. Had no good anti-aggro cards in my opening hand. Maybe I should have mulliganed the Babbling Book, just for a higher chance of getting like a Frostbolt or a Mirror Image, or even a Mana Worm. Yeah, I was probably right. Alright, if only I had 7 mana this turn. My turn would be so much better right now if I had Frostbolt instead of a Fireball there. Could have played a Babbling Book and a Mana Worm with it. It's a pretty big deal. Good news is Flame Strike is still good here. Sad news is he still has 4 cards in his hand. If I'm not dead this turn, I'm probably dead the next turn. He only needs 7 damage. Alright, there's a Frostbolt, and he only has 2 damage on board after that. Maybe even less. I want to make this trade first, right? Double hit Tunnel Trog. So close. Needs a Lava Burst, or Doomhammer Sir Finley, or... okay. I had such a terrible start that game. Is this the same dude? This is the same dude. Only difference is this time he's gonna get ass fucked. Pardon my language, YouTube. I am sorry. Mana Worm would be nice. Alright. This is still a better hand than I had last time. Last time I had a decent hand, but I think I've learned Babbling Book is just too slow against Shaman. Get that? Why does he always have that?
Let's make magic.
That's still kind of lucky because now I can use these 2 to trade. I think I'm just going to drop the Flame Waker. Maybe I make this trade myself, because if he rolls a spell damage, this plus that kills the Flame Waker, and I'd much rather this die than the Flame Waker. But it's 3 damage. I'm not passing that up for a 1 in 3 chance. Plus, if he has Feral Spirit, he plays that every time. Or fucking Rockbiter. And Feral Spirit?
Did you bring some fish?
Of course. Alright, well, this is still going 10 times better than the last game already. As long as he has no Dr. 7 here. Or Dr. 4. Hey, he does run Blood Mage. I was right about one thing. Next turn, Flamewaker could potentially do some work. 1 mana kill my 5-drop. Seems fair. The odds of this killing anything suck. Besides like Blood Mage. I'll play both. Deal 6 damage randomly split. Four out of 6 hit face when there were 3 minions on the board. What the fuck, Blizzard? Of course. Blizzard? It's actually decent.
Someday I'll be just like you.
What the fuck? Alrighty. It's actually a decent chance for stabilization here. If his play this turn isn't insane. Turns out Cone of Cold's actually decent when you get it for free for 3 mana against an aggro deck that has minions on the board. Really? Good thing top decking Flame Strike's the easiest thing I've ever done. It's never that easy. Oh my god. I think it's more important to remove the damage now. Like, I can deal with these hopefully next turn. Counterspell's pretty much useless in this matchup. Best thing it probably blocks is Rockbiter. Good news though is this turn I'm only taking 2 damage. Maybe even less. Also I top deck Flame Strike, so that's pretty good. Fuck. One time it's gonna happen, it's just gonna be insane. He's got 7 damage. I think his odds at lethal are pretty small. Like, if I had ever drawn Flame Strike, this game would be totally different. But the Kona Cold RNG was actually pretty decent. It also fit my mana curve well. Fucking Flame Tongue Totem. Not surprised. He still can do 3 to my face. He gets spell damage totem every time, even if I kill that, so it's pointless. But I can't kill anything. I can kill the 1/1. Alright, well, I lost. Literally any card kills me here. Might have even been better to leave the 1/1 in case of Argent Horse Rider. Maybe he doesn't play 1 Counter Strike. Or Counter Spell. Fuck. I'm alive, boys. And I just top decked Flame Strike. Holy fuck, it's gonna be the last card of my deck. Well, I actually just lost then, because even if I get something out of this... Fucking 9 cards in my hand and not a single answer to his board. Hey, a warrior. That's some good news.
You asked for it.
Keeping Flamewaker isn't good if you don't already have other good cards in your starting hand. Alright, this hand's promising. Literally the best card for what I just did.
Someday I'll be just like you.
I can't leave the 1/1 up. And playing nothing this turn loses me the game most of the time. Alright. He didn't get any value from that. That's fine by me. Madorm Frostbolt's tempting, but Frostbolt could still be saved for something more useful. And I was already running out of cards, so... Hey, there's a Frostbolt target. Gold Sir Finley. I have never seen that. It's actually still sad fireballing that, because I have 2 5-mana plays. It's going to make me play off curve. I literally have like 7 1-drops left in my deck. And I would have played 3 of them. Would have been nice. I know I wasn't under a lot of pressure there, but this turn Thorsan is pretty good, and I'd rather play him on a board that looks like this than the other one. And I actually hit some pretty good cards here. Especially Kabbalah's Tome. I think Kabbalah's Tome would be insanely OP if it just cost 4 mana regularly. like insanely OP. Because you can grab it and then play like 2 out of the 3 spells most of the time. Kind of just need the cards here, so I'm just gonna throw out the Thalnos.
Someday I'll be just like you.
I was pretty lucky. Oh man. Is it just me or is the curator bad? I'm not a fan of this card. I think it's overrated by a lot of people. It's just like most of the time you throw in cards that you don't run in the deck usually just to get value out of it, and it's only a 4/6 taunt for 7 mana. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I was gonna ping that, hit the fairy dragon, but this looks better. I mean, you could probably clear both of them off, but if you can't, then this is gonna be an interesting game.
I wield the power.
Okay, never mind. I wonder if I should Cone of Cold here just to stall off the damage. Then hopefully he plays more and then I can Flame Strike it. Unless he plays a 9/9, that's gonna suck. Alright. Well, Flame Strike Frostbolt is a play. Then I think I probably win the game. Maybe I stall even more with a Blizzard. Is that dumb? I feel like that's not bad. Maybe I should have thrown out a Flame Waker. Now he's going to play the rest of his cards thinking I'm out of board clears. Haha. This turn might even end up being Yogg. Nope, Flame Strike. I think 9 health is fine. Unless it's like Grom, which would just be stupid. I think if I play the Flame Waker before it just leads to Despair, I can't risk not killing the 9/1. Like if both pinged face and he left the 9/1, I would just die, so I'd rather not be salty.
I wield the power.
Maybe this is the Yogg turn. I don't think Antonidas is ever fast enough. Double Flame Waker Frostbolt is pretty good though.
The Fire Lord.
Maybe this first? Maybe I'm extremely lucky? No. This Frostbolt.
Let's make magic.
Alright. How common is 5 damage? He's used both Alex Straws as champions. He's used both Core Prawn Elites? I know he's used one for sure. Okay, so that is not a dragon. It's also not Grom, otherwise he had lethal. And that is good news. And I'm gonna do this for the pings and for the fireball. See, like, even though Antonitus was good there, he wasn't even the win condition of this game. The win condition was the Flame Wakers. We won a game, boys! Woo! I told you, Warrior, good matchup, even though this came shockingly close. And Yogg was just too risky. I was low on health. If he had targeted a single spell on my face, I would have lost, so... yeah. That was a couple good game or a couple bad games, a good game there. Hopefully you guys got a gist of how the deck works. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to smash that like button, and I'll see you guys in the next one.